2, 1, action. Oh!
We're going to the Motorized Precision headquarters. These guys create motorized robot arms, primarily for camera usage, but they're also like industrial grade and really, really strong. The really, really cool part about this is we're gonna find out how well a motorized, high-powered robot arm can slice a phone. We've got a Galaxy S10 and an iPhone 11 here. It's very busy here. We got trains, we got loaders. Can't talk. It's all good, whatever. Let's just go. We're gonna go in, we're gonna go say hi, and then we're gonna unload all the Phantoms and stuff because we got super slow motion cameras behind us. And I can't wait to check out the robot arms in more detail. Should be really, really interesting. So here we are, we're in a Motorized Precision studio. We got Sean, this is the owner of Motorized Precision. So we've got the robot arms behind us here, and we've got the lights. This is an insane setup. We got the Katana mounted to a robot arm. So tell us a little bit about Motorized Precision.
So Motorized Precision is a motion control company. We have the world's most simple, intuitive motion control software that allows us to control industrial robots and a whole bunch of other
So
you can. We'll try that again.
Do you make the robots?
We don't make the robots,
right?
But we do control them with MP Studio. We make the software that controls industrial robots that are off-the-shelf robots that make car parts and all sorts of different things in the industrial world.
Right.
We bring them into the cinema world. So with MP Studio, we actually write a whole new profile and tell the robot what to do in a completely different way than you would normally see in the industrial world. There's a lot of limits and styles that they use in the industrial world that don't make sense for cinema. So we have to create ways of creating motion profiles that allow the robot to move in a cinematic way and not just an industrial way.
So I gave Sean my Katana a couple weeks ago, and they've been mounting it to this mechanical robot arm. Now, how much force can this robot arm generate in like a swing?
Its top speed is 4 meters per second.
Okay.
And it can hold a 40-pound payload. Okay. So I'm sure there's a Newton meter force there that we can figure out.
Yeah. I'm really curious how much more force we have compared to a human swinging, you think?
It really depends on who the human is, and like if there was an expert swordsman, they might be able to do
just
even better,
yeah,
or just the same. If it's me or you, I think the robot's going to beat us.
Probably. You never know. I've been, lifting a lot, so I'm pretty strong now.
We can do a robot/human tag there. So the cool thing about Kira though is that you can find the most precise angles and repeat it over and over. So we can get the same swing over and over, or we can find just the right angle. Sword is gonna slice right through something, or just where the sword's strongest and sharpest point is, will slice right through the object.
See, that's important because there are parts of the blade that are really dinged up now
for some reason
from previous videos.
Yeah, I don't know what happened when we got this sword. We noticed that chunks of it were missing and parts of it were really dull. We're like, this is gonna work, and we're gonna hard stop our robot.
Hard stop the robot, no
and then
slicing.
We're gonna hard stop this other robot.
Okay.
So now both robots cannot hurt us.
Okay, that's good because I don't want to die.
So these are custom CNC'd pieces of steel that mount to what's called the robot end effector, or the robot flange. That's this piece of circular and square on this side metal that goes to another piece of metal that clamps around the hilt of the sword. These are connected through the holes that go to the robot, and these are connected into there. On the back side, we have another custom piece of metal that we bent, not CNC'd, and we cut out some holes in that we use these C brackets to mount to the sword. You can see it's almost bending because I made it so tight.
Yeah, I'm feeling this. There's no wiggle in this at all.
And then you can see that this is also bent because I've made this so tight. So this connects our custom CNC bracket to this guy so that you cannot move this sword. What we have here is the Veo 4K, which is the Phantom Flex smaller 4K. Today we can do both focus and zoom on there. We chose to just leave the iris manual. There's a matte box on there to protect us with a little bit of glass filter in there, just in case we get juice or phone parts shooting at the lens. We'll be able to protect it a little more.
Very likely.
You can pull focus really extremely fast with these motors. So in slow motion, we can keep the focus really sharp. And with our system, we can set a target on our subject, and then it will pull focus automatically throughout the move wherever the robot goes. So some of the things that we're going to be considering when using this robot is safety. So I have some safety glasses.
Oh, you got me some pink ones. That's
there
nice.
We go. So we got the pink ones for our guests.
Yep. Sexy.
There's a little bit of flex in this system. So we're gonna have to look at designing moves that can be cut with the least amount of flex.
Yeah.
So we'll have to swing at just the most precise angle and at the right speed in order to get the slice.
Yeah, we really don't want the sword flying off the end of the robot in the middle of the shoot. So
Correct.
this is great.
Correct.
I like the mount. It's a good job on the mount.
So the challenges that we're gonna see is, how do we slice through an object? Like, are we gonna go up and down like you talked about? Are we gonna go side to side? Is the object gonna bend? Or is the object gonna slice? So we're gonna put Kira to the test and see.
I'm pretty sure that the Galaxy S10 might be sliceable from the side.
If not, can we play Fruit Ninja instead?
Yeah, well, we got some fruit with us. I'm super excited about this.
It's gonna be amazing.
I don't want this video to turn into can the Veil 4K survive a katana?
We are very precise here, so we're going to be controlling both robots. We're going to design the move in 2 separate softwares, and I'm going to control it from one.
We got an iPhone 11 and a Galaxy S10. We're going to find out which phone can survive the katana better or worse, and at the same time see all this amazing machinery in action in ultra slow motion. It's going to be freaking epic. Let's get started. Here we go. So basically we have 2 iMacs here. Each of these iMacs is controlling one of the robots. The main control will be on this left iMac. It'll basically trigger both of the robots to go at the same time. But in theory, actually, the robots are being controlled independently, but we're coordinating all of this so that the robot arm with the sword doesn't slice the camera. And if the timing is off, even a little bit, it could be very bad. So it's very important to be very precise and on point here. So good thing we got this guy to make sure that it's perfect. This is the actual software right here, and that's the motion. We don't have a katana representation in
We don't, we just have the camera. We're going to do the slicing action that we've programmed so far, and we'll see if we need to tweak it at all. 3, 2, 1.
I think we could probably get a lot more force if we made this arc bigger.
Start this one way back here if we wanted to.
Okay.
And get a huge amount. So right now we'll see that the camera's going to move at 3.48 meters per second, or the sword in this case.
Okay.
And then axis speed, I look at each individual maximum to make sure that it's not over what the axes are capable of doing.
So we've tilted the blade. We've set the arc point really far out, further out than it was initially on the initial test. Then we also set the blade so the rotation of the blade is greater, so we can build more speed and momentum going into the slice. And we've also arced the blade so that it kind of gets pulled back.
And 3, 2.
So that's basically capped out, right, at maximum speed that we'll want to run at?
4.11 is a really good top speed that we should stay at. Pushing it over might not achieve anything better.
So we're gonna start with a slice of the grapefruit. We have done a successful camera test where the blade moves through where the object will be, and that camera did not get hit. So now that we've done that, we're ready to place the grapefruit back in, and we're ready to run it at 100% speed. Is that right, Sean?
Correct.
Oh boy.
In 3, 2, 1, action.
I'm seeing a sliced grapefruit.
That looked badass. At the beginning, it's a real nice slice.
And the great thing about this version of the shot is that you can really like see like the action of it entering the grapefruit.
See, if we had a really strong base, you wouldn't get that flex. You would slice right through.
Oh, it would be super clean.
Yeah.
The stronger the base, the better the grapefruit would be held,
Yeah.
you know, and then it would just be like a perfect slice. Yeah, it was just the movement of the grapefruit that caused the awkward kind of angling of the slice. So
That's really cool.
that's a great shot. Okay, so we're gonna set up another grapefruit, and then we're gonna throw a Galaxy S10 on there. Okay, this time we got the grapefruit being held by a fork, and we're gonna see if that works a little bit better. We took off the brain cap. Yes, so let's see what happened to this grapefruit. Oh, so yeah, it just didn't hold very good. It's kind of hard to hold that grapefruit in spot. Can we have 4 forks coming in to stabilize from the bottom?
That's actually what we need.
Whoa. Such a juicy hit.
That's cool.
In 3,
Grapefruit 10 number 3.
1, action.
Woo! In comes the blade. Whoa! Nice. Yeah, that was great. Perfect. Okay, so I think we're warmed up. We're ready. All right, let's go try to set up the clamp for a phone now. You got something delicious there? Got some leftover grapefruit?
The half that didn't hit the floor.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, I think it's safer.
You know, we charge $30 for robot cut fruit around here.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive, so we're gonna need you to pay up. We'll accept payment with your phone donated for the slice. All right. We've got the phone, the Galaxy S10 set up on the clamp here. It's a really strong clamp. We got it sandbagged down. We're finally ready to see what happens with the Galaxy S10.
In 3, 2, 1, action. Holy crap.
Boom. We like ripped, I think, the bottom portion of the device off in the clamp. That is a wild, awesome shot though.
That's wild.
Here comes that Katana, 18,000 frames per second. Boom, it cracks the glass.
Yeah.
The sword is wobbling a lot.
Yeah. It's almost like a clock, like the head of the Kobo head is like undoing itself.
There goes the screen.
Yep.
And the screen's cracked
We should
royally.
probably make a phone call with it after that.
I wonder if the display on the screen's working at all. Oh,
there
there
it
goes
goes.
a chunk on the bottom. The bottom frame got ripped off.
Yep. It's still in the coma. Oh man, let's go take a look at the actual phone.
This guy knows what's up. Okay, wow.
My God. You can see that slice right there.
It almost made it all the way through the
Yep.
metal. It didn't quite.
Tiny, tiny bit.
So now if we run it in the exact same spot, can we hit it in the...
We
For a
can
cut
actually.
too?
As long as the phone goes to the same spot and we get this angle right, we can hit exactly the same spot.
But look at the bottom of this there, and the
It
phone
is
ripped.
open.
Literally, it's still stuck in the base of the clamp.
You can see that
Come back
what
on
they
this side.
use for their pearl finish here is just this plasticky inner coat.
Let's see if we can turn it on again. Any response? Nope, I think the display's dead. Well, first swing, we killed it.
3, 2, 1, action.
Oh my god, that's beautiful.
It's such an awesome shot.
That's great.
It pushes it way out of frame. Look at that glass still.
That's awesome.
I mean, that really sliced it.
Like, it was just brute force going right
Eventually
through
it
that
got
phone.
through a slice now. Now we have fairy dust.
Makes contact. Crazy blade wobble.
Now it's just pushing it through.
What's gonna give out first, basically, you know? The
back
Katana,
screen
the
first.
motor, the screen, the edge of the metal.
In this shot, we lost the whole thing. Now it starts slicing
there
through.
goes, there goes. And it actually slices it right there.
It hits, delayed, and then blows up.
It sounded like a huge crack.
I like how it was just like a test of wills for the first, like, on impact.
Yeah.
It's like, what's gonna
Who's
win?
gonna win?
The blade or the phone? And then
Is that the battery?
that's the battery.
That's dangerous. Sliced right through it.
The battery is one of the most durable parts of any of the devices, honestly. It did a 2/3 slice through the battery. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I basically cut it until it like ripped the bottom apart at the very last little bit.
Yep.
So we've got the blade right now at the position where it has the most speed and the most momentum coming down in a straight line. We're gonna put this iPhone 11 right in between these two clamps and it's gonna go slicey slicey. It might crack. If it cracks, it cracks. It cracks.
make it go
Look at that, the LCD's going out a little bit right there. Can I hit this? Is it gonna move? I don't think it's gonna go anywhere at this point.
Is that gonna be okay?
Oh God! Oh God!
Oh, there it is.
Oh
there
my
it is.
God! Well, we're gonna have a partially cracked iPhone before the Katana slice happens. They cracked on the whole area. Oh, it's okay. At least it's partially still lit up. That's nice. We've got the Veil 4K doing this like downward up motion, looking at it and keeping focus and zooming. The big question is, you know, this is a little bit of a slower move. We don't have as much distance coming down, so this is only going to reach 2 meters per second. So will it have enough power and force to go right through the phone, or if it's going to get stuck? I'm not sure. I think it's going to go right through the phone. Let's do this.
3, 2, 1, action.
I love the motion going up, the Katana coming down at the same time. It hits, crunches. Whoa! Oh my God! The way the display went out.
Yours still went though. Like it
Yeah,
powered through.
It did. The phone was surprisingly durable. The clamps were the weak point.
The stand is still
What?
shifting out of there now.
Jeez. Okay. All right. Well, we got to try to reclamp it, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Round two. Check out this iPhone.
I had it the other
Oh,
way.
it's so weird looking. I've never seen an iPhone look like this. You can see the backlight of the LCD
So retro.
coming through here. It looks so funky. That's where the Katana hit. We definitely did not get much of a cut through. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and reclamp this thing, see if we can get it to really stick. The phone's coming apart. I don't care. It's hard for me to imagine those clamps coming undone this time.
In 3, 2, 1, action.
Oh, just crushed it. I think the issue here, most likely, is that the Katana is just not sharp
enough.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe if we had a little more whip action, we lowered the phone more. I don't know. And it's just, there's so many little variables.
The phone's just too good. Yeah.
Oh, just crushes into it. See, but we never made it through that outer metal layer. We just crumpled it in.
Tier 3 iPhone 1.
Here it comes. There's the Katana. Little bit of cracking. And we have like, it's like stopped for a second.
Holy crap, it almost bounces out.
It's true, it hit and kind of like almost bounced up a little bit. And then it's like going in again.
Trying. You can see the crack building up in there.
Oh, look at that. You got all the back glass shattering out before the front glass.
Oh.
That's epic. That is so cool. Just crumples in. All right, let's go check out that iPhone and see the aftermath.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Actually sliced
It did
in.
slice it really good, and we did get through the metal.
Oh, that smell is just...
That's the battery. Oh, that's the Katana versus Motorized arm. There's the aftermath. I'd say the iPhone won this one. It stayed in one piece. Actually stopped the whole Kira arm. So big shout out to Sean here at Motorized Precision. I can't believe I got to use not one, but 2 robot arms. Freaking awesome. And then we have Dan at Via Films. He provided the Veo 4K for us today to test out and risked it. Links to their Instagrams in the description down below. Go check them out if you want to see more of their work and what they're all about. Thanks guys for making this happen. You guys made a dream come true. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for coming by, I really appreciate it.
Fist bump. Yeah, super fun. Glad we had a good time. It's a Galaxy S10 in my hand, fist bump, all right? Yeah!